本日のタイトルはですね、多発性骨髄腫および他の造血器腫瘍の染色体検査における細胞分離の臨床的意義というところでですね、メインのコンポーネントはドクター・タンさんをですね、MD アンダーソンからお呼びいたしまして講演をしていただきます。で、その後ですね、ステムセルテクノロジー社のエヴァよりですね、細胞分離製品のご紹介をしていただいた後にですね、10分から15分程度の QA セッションの方を予定しております。本日の演者になりますドクター・タンさんですけれども、MD アンダーソンのキャンサーセンターにおいてですね、ヘマトパソロジストとして活躍されている先生でございます。Okay, Dr. Tan, so I finished my introduction. Please start your presentation.
ありがとうございます。Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to share with you about the plasma cell enrichment and the fish testing for the plasma cell neoplasms. So I have no conflict of interest to declare. So this is my talk, the outline. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about the plasma cell neoplasm and then cytogenetic abnormalities associated with the plasma cell neoplasm, and then the guidelines for the cytogenetic testing. And then, of course, I'm going to focus on the plasma cell enrichment and then the experience from the MD Anderson Cancer Center. So, and then I'm going to talk a kind of a touch base on the CD19 B cell enrichment. So, plasma cell neoplasm is a group of the disease. The most common one we see is the MGUS, is a monoclonal gammopathy of undetermined significance. And then followed by the plasma cell myeloma. And there's two variants, one called smoldering myeloma, another one is a plasma cell leukemia. Uncommonly, we also see some kind of amyloidosis or the plasma cytoma, and others is quite rare. So this is the cases distribution about the monoclonal gammopathy. So based on this one, the MGUS is the most common one, accounting for the 58% of the cases. And others like the plasma cell myeloma, plasma cell cytoma, or the plasma cell leukemia account for maybe 1/4 of the cases. But because at MD Anderson, we are not the primary care center, so most like the patient comes to us is already treated on outside. So either has a refractory or relapsed plasma cell myeloma, or the seek for the clinical trial or the stem cell transplant. So more than 80% of the cases we see in our center is in this category. So plasma cell myeloma, the diagnosis, one is depends on the morphology, another one is depends on the flow cytometry. So for the morphology, it has a kind of low grade, intermediate grade, or the high grade. But the most common thing we see is in this one, the mastocule, the type, is the most common one, is a low grade. And based on the morphology, we cannot tell this is a neoplastic or is a benign plasma cells, because in our bone marrow, they are benign or reactive bone marrow cells. But flow cytometry is going to tell, and you can see here, we gated, so based on the CD138, this is a very important, the marker for the plasma cells, very specific, and then the CD38. So if you gate by these two antibody, you see the population of the plasma cells is here, and the blue is a benign reactive plasma cells, and then the red is our neoplastic or aberrant plasma cells. And the aberrant plasma cells we usually see has a kind of very low or the negative CD19 expression, so it's on this corner, and it usually has a CD56 expression on the benign we should not see. And then of course they can have a negative of CD27 and a CD38. And we often also use another one is a CD1117. This is from the different cases, So this